Okay, folks, the stream is up. They're going to lag to determine who breaks. Like Kim is going to take a little bathroom break, so in a few minutes we should be going again. Okay, folks, we are getting ready to start the second race. This is the final. Kim won the first race, forced the second race. Now, this will be the end. They are lagging for the break. Looks like Kim won that. So, she will be racking and breaking first.
Indeed.
And grab it, but I haven't grabbed it yet.
And announced today the latest member of the Hall of Fame, Patrick Antonius. You like it, Arnold?
Yeah, Patrick, one of the younger members, of course, came out just a couple years ago. Just a legendary catch game player. 50 heads up. Not so much on the tournament
Josh,
circuit.
are you
He did more
on
at
the air?
European tournament circuit than he did here. Never played much of the World Series. So much respect playing at the highest.
Okay, so that was World Series of Poker. I could hear in the background.
Yep. So I'm muted, but apparently it's still playing no matter what.
Yeah. I don't know if you'd be able to listen. Okay, so Kim is about ready to break, and that'll begin the first game. Okay, and we are off. Dora is at the table. Looks like got some options.
All right. How about now? Can you hear me when I'm unmuted?
What was that, Josh? I was talking to Crystal, and I had my headset hanging off my head here. So Dora is striped. Just missed a combo, but left her 9-ball hanging there. Kim has a starting shot of the 4-ball right here. If she rolls forward a little bit, she'll be able to play the 2-ball in this way and bump the 9 out of there and open that up. But we'll see what she chooses to do here.
How about now, Richard? Can you hear me now?
It looks like Kim will be cutting the 3-ball. 2-ball kind of going this way. pretty fortunate not to scratch there, but
Just trying to
did
take
leave
my
it.
audio over here, and Rich is ignoring me. So
I can hear you now.
good.
So the cue ball sitting on the edge of the pocket there. She has a shot at the 14 in the side to start with. And then looks like all of her stripes have home. It's just a matter of getting the position to send them there. That shot right there was really nice. She's going to shoot the 10 ball over here to the corner. That'll leave her options on the remaining 4 to shoot at.
All right. So who out there thinks that Kim's going to be able to pull off this double dip here? Now that they've started this second set.
What I can say is that the momentum is definitely with her. Dora has to work through a little frustration, I think, from the last match. Not that she's not capable. She's definitely more than capable of pulling it off. But everything is a little more important now that she doesn't have the one to give. Hey, Jeff, who won our bet? If I remember right, didn't you bet 5 on Selena? If that's the case, you owe me $5.
She's in a funny spot here. I wouldn't be against her playing the 9 first with a bunch of left-hand English, and the 12 should scoot over this way. Depending on how hard she hits, it might even come over there. But hopefully try to get that cue ball out into this range and be able to see that 12, or even have the 15 for the side or the corner down here.
Don't forget, Jeff, I had a traumatic brain injury recently, so memory is affected.
I see why she played the carom there. Maybe from my angle, maybe I was wrong. Maybe the 9 couldn't go. But the problem with playing the carom is it doesn't give you an opportunity to get shape to your next ball. She would have had to hit it really hard and tried to come out somehow.
Hey, Josh, I can hear you, but you sound like a good distance away from your microphone.
All right, let me reboot all of this again.
So Dora missed her shot on the 12 in the corner, but it came back over here and tied up with Kim's 1. So that will definitely be something Kim will have to address. I agree with you, Eddie. That's how it was sounding to me as well. Well, we'll see what Kim decides to do here. If she can pop the 7 over there on the side, or use that on the 5 to follow forward and break out her 1 ball. So I believe Dora can cut that 15 into the corner, and the play would be to cut it and play it off the 1 and hopefully open that 12 ball up, because with a little bit of inside English, the cue ball can go kind of like this path, but you would need to play the 15 off of the 1 like this, so that the 1 ball moves to here and opens the 12 up for her cue ball when it gets over there. So we'll see if that's what she tries to do. Well, she definitely tried that, except she just went with center ball, I think. No inside, as the cue ball didn't come down between the 8 and the 2. I can tell you the 1 ball does go, but it will be a tight shot. So basically, she will have to shoot the 5 in, leave herself kind of straight on the 2, and then pocket the 2 in the top right corner there, and leave herself a little straighter on the 1, and that would allow it to go. Now, if she can clean up the 7 and the 3 now before she comes and does that, then that won't be so bad, because then just rolling the 1 in, she would be straight in on with the 8 to the side. Okay, so this could potentially cost her the game. With Dora's ball sitting in the pocket, even though she's going to be reaching over the 5, maybe even using the crutch to reach the shot, she will edge the 15 in and use that to break the 112 open. She's hoping that will lay out nicely for her and give her a shot to work with. So we'll see what happens. So it looks like she is going rail first. It worked out nicely and knocked the 12 out of there, except she stuck to the 1. I mean, there is a little gap, but not enough for her to be able to go by it. And it's too close to jump, so she will be kicking 1 rail this way. If she makes it, then the 1 will come up like this and give her a nice shot on the 8.
Can you hear me now, Rich?
Yes, even though it's showing you're muted, I just heard you loud and clear. I do not hear you at all now, but it does show you are muted.
How about now? You hearing me good?
Yes.
Good. All right, what did I miss? Dora give ball in hand here? Is that what happened?
She did. She
Okay.
kicked wide and hit the 2 ball. And so Kim does have ball in hand here. And with all her balls being able to go, she has a good opportunity to take the first game of the second race.
Nice.
Myron, in answer to your question, I will find someone for you, and for the next few days, I will reach out to you with who it is. I'll talk to them as well and see if we can't get something going for you.
All right, thanks for the feedback, guys. Glad it got working good here. So looks like Kim, that 2-ball must pass into the corner. Looks like she's got a pretty good shot at it to make that ball and roll up a little bit for the 1-ball. Thanks again, Patrick, for helping out on the last stream. Much appreciated.
All right, Kim started with her 2-ball, rolled forward, bumped into the 12. Has a nice shot on the 1 here, but not a whole lot of angle to do much with. But with the 3 sitting in the pocket, there isn't a whole lot she needs to do. She can just play this and accept the longer shot on the 3, knowing that she doesn't have to do a whole lot to pocket the 3. And pocketing the 3, she should get a nice shot on the 5 as well. So definitely the potential to run this table out.
Good stroke, good confident stroke to make that ball get out there for the 3-ball. And Rich, just so you know, you're going to have to pay a little more attention in this one than normal, because apparently my brain went completely sideways in the last match, and I started calling the 1-ball and 5-ball. I get mixed up sometimes. It's hard to tell on the stream sometimes, but I was apparently calling the 1-ball or the 5-ball, the 9-ball, and it just went off the rails. So
yeah, Crystal was she made it a point to inform me of that. I think she was just happy to say your name.
Yeah, that makes complete sense. So Kim left herself a tough shot here, because she's got to pocket this ball, but then she's got to make sure she finds a way to have a decent shot at the 8-ball. Sometimes when you have a tough shot like this, it might just be best to focus on making the ball and taking your medicine after the fact, you know?
Yeah, the thing is to play that natural angle. Kim's not going to use much side English to try to wrap around the 12 this way. Sorry for the ugly. I don't even know if that qualifies as a line, but it's probably going to go straight across, just like that. And she has a nice shot to the corner pocket.
Kim's on a mission here. She shot good that last match, and that's a big win, 5-1 over DORA, after, DORA has the hot seat, and now she's putting herself in a good position to take the early lead this match. She hung the ball, missed the ball, I should say. Commentator's curse, maybe.
Yeah, an unfortunate part of that miss is the 8 rolled neutral. So I don't expect DORA to play a safety here, because the natural angle is to go right back up table. You get a nice shape on the 8. But she does have a safety option because of the 8 laying neutral. And about the identifying the wrong balls, Josh, I do have the advantage of sitting here, so when I look at the stream and end up unsure, I can just look up and see what is what. You don't have that advantage, seeing as how you're at home. But yeah, I'll follow along, correct you if need be. So now
yeah,
this one,
that makes sense for the 1 and the 5-ball, but not for me confusing a solid first stripe.
Yeah, the solid stripe one. That was definitely you.
Well, and the thing about it was, it's just I misspoke because I knew it was a solid. I kept talking about playing shape to it. I just kept calling it the wrong ball. So you think Dora's going to fire at this, or you think she's going to try to roll up on a safety here?
Oh, she's firing at it.
Oh, double hit.
So just to use a term of poker, since you're also watching poker, just from her mannerisms and what I see over there, she is on tilt. Not mega tilt or anything like that, but definitely a little on tilt from the last match and the struggles in this first game.
Yeah, it's easy to do. It's easy to get in your own head and get frustrated, and then that frustration starts to show in your execution. Curious to see under the lights, under the pressure, and under this environment, as far as the finals and Queen of the Valley and losing the first set. I'd like to see how Dora responds to this.
Yeah, and the other thing, to give Kim some credit here, when we had the 450 and below tournament, she won that, and then in the Phyllis's tournament over in Spokane, she come through strong and finished high, went real deep in that tournament.
Yeah, she actually lost to Phyllis in the finals, I believe.
Yeah, so she's definitely tested. So,
yeah,
she isn't rattled by who she plays or what the score is. And so she's able to keep her head correct and do what she needs to do to keep herself in it. And it worked beautifully in the last match, winning 5-1 over a really solid opponent.
Dora gets that early lead after a couple attempts at the 8-ball by both opponents. So now it's 1-0 Dora. We'll see how Kim responds to that. Kim's a fighter, though. She fights through a lot of matches, and she knows what it takes to fight through a match too. So that's given her probably a little bit more confidence than most.
Well, Myron, in response to your comment, there is a very specific reason why they cut people off when they return from across the street, and that's because people are coming back drunk, and then the liability falls on the Dutch, and that's what they're not happy about. If people going over there to drink isn't the issue. It's that they come over here and their drunkenness, something bad were to happen, then the Dutch is liable for that, and that's their concern. But you walking across the street to get a drink at your house, who knows what could happen to you? I don't know how friendly you are with your neighbor across the street, but anything can happen.
I would hope he would knock first. All right, Dora with the break. Looks like another dry break. Once again, Kim's going to have the opportunity here to try to take control by picking her suit of balls here.
Well, he could just walk a little down the street and around the corner and drink Jeff's beer. Him and Jeff live very, very close to each other.
Yeah, very true.
So he goes sit in Jeff's pool and drink Jeff's beer. And Jeff will feed you too.
Missed her opening shot here, so now gives this chance back to Dora. She didn't have the easiest of shots, so now Dora's going to have to try to pick and choose what she wants here. And yet again, the table's pretty ugly, so there's not a whole lot of good choices here probably.
Yeah, Patrick, come on down. And Lee, nothing has happened yet, and hopefully nothing ever does either way. But it's definitely something that they do. They do cut people off when they return from coming across the street. So just so you know, that is in place. It does happen.
Yeah, Patrick, and the nice thing about this pool community over here is you show up over here and there'll be plenty of people that'll be welcoming you over for a drink and steak. Jeff makes some great barbecue, some great food. Yeah, it's a good, like we said before, it's a good community of people over here for pool. So there's definitely beer and food available.
And Patrick, as you can see Jeff's comment, he does have a swimming pool, and he has a beautiful 9-foot front whole house and pool table. It's had it forever, and it still plays as good as the first day. And it is a 9-footer. So, and Jeff will shoot pool with you all day and night. He loves to play.
One of the coolest pool rooms you see because he collects signs. So there's every different kind of sign you can imagine for pool, for alcohol, bar style signs. He's got up all over inside that pool room.
And they just got a brand new refrigerator, and his wife Michelle was talking about going grocery shopping. So I'm pretty sure it's packed full of yummies. So there's always also that. And they're not afraid to feed you. And Jeff does like to throw down on the barbecue, and he's pretty good at it.
You just got to specify with that guy how you want your food cooked because he doesn't cook his steak. So it's definitely something you got to work out. Or, I don't know if the Zerks are still on here watching, but Scott's got a 7-foot diamond in his basement, and he too likes to get his grub on. So he makes a mean steak out of his Traeger.
They also have a big swimming pool.
That's true. I wish I was invited over there a little earlier. I would have went, but Michelle was holding back.
Well,
That's
that's
awesome
good
to
to
hear,
hear.
Lee. Hopefully that's
Yeah.
something you can stick with, man. That's cool.
Well, he kicked butt in the big 9-ball tournament we had here a little bit ago, winning that wire to wire. Pretty impressive considering the field was very, very stacked. Lee did a really nice job of winning that tournament.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, kudos to you, Lee. That was a strong showing, man. You played great.
Well, Michelle Zerk, I appreciate the invite, but I was at one of the grandkids' birthday parties, so and they had cake, and I liked cake.
Kim just tried banking that ball, just barely missed, hit the nipple there, and she got pretty fortunate, though. It looks like she rolled into a pretty good spot. I mean, obviously, Dora can see her 6-ball here, but I don't think she has any offensive shots she can do, and Kim's balls are getting in better and better positions. 13 ball still a problem, but no doubt she can find a way to get to it. So Dora's going to have to come up with something good here.
Yeah, you're right about no offensive shot. Nothing, considering where the cue ball is sitting right now, there is not a ball she can make. So she will definitely be just basically clipping the 6 and trying to position a cue ball into something difficult for Kim. Hey, Michelle Me, the nickname is not Cupcake Rich, but I will take a cupcake if you want to bring some down here.
Yeah, so like we mentioned, Dora didn't have much of an option there, but she played down table, and looks like she didn't really leave the best of shots for Kim here. I think all she's got is that 15 in the corner. She's got to try to play this and make sure she gets some kind of position that allows her to do something with that 13 ball off one of her other balls, or else she'd just be better off to play some kind of safety, you know.
Well, in this particular situation, I almost like going rail first into the 9, playing the 9 in that corner, because that cue ball would be hitting the bottom rail, and with a little bit of right English, you could go over there and break that 13 out. Not that it matters now, but she hung her 15 ball and left a combo, which Dora is attacking you with right now, 6-3 combo. Oh, and on a side note, Josh, Crystal is sitting here with her phone to her ear, listening to the commentary, mainly so she hears your voice, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that makes sense. Maybe I'll just stay muted and deprive her of that.
No, Michelle, Josh's nickname is Pookie, and that is from Delmer.
I text Delmer, asked him if he was ready to head out for a tournament in Tri-Cities a couple weekends ago. I happened to say, how you doing, Pookie? And his wife seen it. She wasn't sure which one of his friends was calling him by those little pet names, but she should have known it was me, for one. But for two, ever since then, Delmer, he's got his eyes on me. He texts me and calls me Pookie often. So you got some competition there, Crystal, is what we're trying to say.
So did you text him or nudge him?
I text him.
You're right, Kelly. Crystal is beet red. She got this huge smile on her face. So just the fact that she heard Josh say her name, she's going to have a tough time sleeping tonight. So back to the pool. Dora is surveying the land here. I think the play would be, the 7 and 4 ball are stuck over here in this corner with the 13 and the 15. So she's playing a safe, and that's pretty good. Not really leaving him much to work with. I would have just drove the 6 into the 9 and pocketed the 6, knocking the 9 completely out of there. But I play a little aggressively at times, so that's why I would do that. I believe Kim can see enough of the 14 to pocket it into the side here. And if it does go, then her cue ball will go up table. Depending on her speed, it could just come up and stay long or come back and give her a shot at the 15 here, which would allow her to break out the 13.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought it back to the pool, Rich, because it went off the rails pretty big time there for you.
Yeah, it did, and I was starting to feel a little nauseous, so I thought, better talk about pool again.
Yeah, that makes sense. So what do you do here? I mean, how about playing rail first on the 9, coming off like this? I mean, obviously I'm not drawing it the best. Hitting that so that the cue ball comes over this direction, and the 9 ball combos that 6 in.
I like that as a good defensive play. Basically, take over that pocket, and the cue ball, like you said, if it follows your line, as long as she doesn't power blast it into there, it would rest right in there nicely and really make it real difficult for DORA.
Yeah, because I mean, right
power that.
Right now, she can do something with this 15. It's close enough to the pocket. She can manipulate it to be able to get a breakout on this 13, but it doesn't help her win the rack, you know?
Yeah, because the 9 ball being a trouble ball, no matter how that broke out, she'd still have to deal with that also. It looked like she could see every bit of it. So if you just fired at the combo, I'm not sure if she was trying to follow that in or just make the 6.
Not to sidestep this, but Kelly, I was telling you about the World Series of Poker yesterday, and I was going in depth about the player I was rooting for, and she just took the overall chip lead of the whole tournament with 16 players left to go. Sorry, a little excited about that, so I had to throw that in there. So does this 7-4 combo?
It does not. Yeah, I don't even know if playing at it right now is even the best idea, because her best chance at it would be more of a straight-on combo versus 2 back cuts. You know, back cut on the 7 onto a back cut on the 4. But yeah, she's definitely aware that she needs to do something with that real soon, either right now or, you know, shoot 1 ball and then do something. She doesn't want to leave it to the end, and for the right reasons, because she needs to have soldiers on the field to give her options if it doesn't lay out the way she wants it to. That was actually a really nice shot. She took the advantage over on the cluster pocket over here, and with the cue ball resting near the 9 and the 1 ball blocking that pocket, Kim has no offensive shot. So she will have to try to come up with something to counter what DORA just did. But DORA just basically, with that shot and now how that pocket is laid out, just took the advantage in this game.
Yeah, I think Kim's in a bad spot in this rack here. She's going to have to try to come with a shot here to try to flip this back into her favor. Even if she plays like the combo on the 13-15, I mean, it doesn't look like she can make the 15, but if she plays that combo, that can move the 15 over, taking over that pocket. You know, take a little bit more control over here. Oh, she could make it. Wow, what a great shot. Now she's just got to get shape from the 9 to the 13 ball. She looks pretty straight on the 9 ball. Unless she can see the 13 from there. Yeah, I don't think she can see the 13 from there to make it. She's looking where she needs to be able to play that 13. So she's just gonna roll this in, try to stay center table, and then have that back cut on the 13. Problem that she comes up with that is then she's got to worry about figuring out shape to the 8. I think right now she's just focused on trying to get her balls and get herself a shot at the 8.
So I can tell you, she doesn't want to roll too far forward on this 9 ball. Yeah, that's a fair amount right there, because that 13 does cut by the 4. It's tight, but it does go. So if she'd have rolled more forward over into this area, then her only play would have been to try to cut it long over there. But where she is right now, that 4 does, or the 13 does pass. So the only downside to taking that shot is that there will probably be no real shape shot on the 8.
Yeah, because I mean, right now a natural angle off this 13 looks like it might be taking her here, which she don't want. She's cutting it thin enough that if she uses some outside, you know, she might be able to get it to come off and hit up in this area, which if she does, then she'll have a natural path to get shape to the 8. But that's tough. I mean, that's asking for a lot to not only make that ball, but then manipulate the cue ball around the table to get shape to the 8.
Yeah, most people aren't going to see 4-rail shape. Not to say that it won't happen. Wow. That, not only did she make that tight shot, she followed damn near the exact path you drew, Josh.
Yeah, center ball looked like it was taking her straight there. But now she's got a bank shot on the 8. But you can tell better from where you're at. That angle she has, is she going to be able to play that and keep the cue ball out of the way of the 8 ball?
Well, that will be tough. I think the 8 might be far enough off the rail that the double kiss is not in play. And if anybody is wondering, the 8 does not pass the 4 that same pathway the 13 just did. It has no home in that pocket, so she is definitely going to have to bank. But yeah, the potential double hit is there, and her only hope is this distance right here will give the 8 ball and the cue ball, an opportunity to get out of each other's way and allow that 8 ball to bank to this pocket.
Yeah, I think she was a little tentative with that. Probably wasn't sure either. But the 8's in an open spot, and Dora's got all her open balls out here. I mean, I think she's high percentage to get out here, but considering, you know, some of the frustrations and how the match is going and some of this table control play back and forth, you know, sometimes it's hard to flip that switch and get that, you know, get back in stroke to actually get out versus all this safeties and everything they've been playing. So I'm curious to see if she can pull this together and get out here. I think she gets out here. I think she's given herself a really good chance to win this set.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Hang on a second here. Sorry about that. I just ended up having to sneeze, so I muted myself. But I agree with you here, and she needs to shoot this one ball. And if she pockets that one ball, then the 5 goes, the 7 goes, the 4 does not go. So, but once she pockets this one ball, she'll have options on everything. And it'll give her a good opportunity to get out and win this game. And like you said, it'll be good for her mindset as well. Unfortunately, I'm not sure why she tried to bring the cue ball all the way back down here. She could have got the angle she needed, staying up table. But in doing so, she gave him an opportunity. The scratch is not in play. If you look at the tangent line, it should be something like that. So scratching here is not an issue unless she hits the 8 too thick or too hard. Because when you hit hard, cue ball deflects on a wider angle than its natural angle. So, but I don't see her hammering this shot. And she's taking her time, picking her spot.
Something changed on your end, Rich. You're starting. It almost sounds like you're in the wind. There's all kinds of muffled noise coming off.
Oh, well, I have a fan blowing on me. That might be it. So I'll turn that off right now.
But to follow up, I don't think Dora planned on playing at that speed and coming all the way down table. I think she probably just has a little bit of her adrenaline going and probably hit that a little bit more than she planned. Kim played that with a great speed. She just ended up missing it. But you know what? Leaving that 8 ball and sitting in front of that pocket, that puts pressure on Dora again, because now every shot she has is pretty much a do or die. You know, if she misses, she sells out. So she's got to pull herself together, maintain composure, and put a good stroke on these balls and try to finish this out.
Well, she was able to pocket the 1 ball. Now she has a thin cut on the 7 that she almost has to take now. Very makeable. And pocketing this ball will open up the 4 ball as well.
One thing about Dora that I love is that she always puts a good stroke on the ball. I mean, maybe like that 1 ball she missed a little bit ago, she overstroked that or whatever, but rarely do you see her hit things tentative or soft unless the shot requires it. She's always putting a confident stroke on the ball.
Yeah, she definitely hits every shot with the intent. So that's one thing about her methodical style and her pre-shot routine. She definitely has her mind made up on what she intends to do, and she hits the ball with that intent. And because of that, it allows her to do quite well. And looks like she is going to pocket this 8 and take a 2-game lead. Yeah, and there it is. And now it is Kim's rack and break.
So, Rich, I don't know if you heard earlier. Obviously, you know, me and Kim have known each other a long time, and we've only known Dora for, you know, a little year, 2 years maybe. I don't root for anybody to lose, obviously. I want to see both of these players shoot well and do well. but I'm currently rooting for Dora, and it's because I'm a little biased because of the tournament we have coming up together. I want to have her coming off of a big win, so she's playing in that with a lot of confidence. I think she'll be okay either way, but that is one of the reasons I'm rooting for her. But who are you rooting for here? I'd like to know.
I
Don't
am.
don't be PC like some people say. You just want to see a good match. Who are you rooting for?
To be honest, I don't have a particular winner in mind. I'm friends with both. I like to see both do well in everything they play. But to respond to your comment, even if Dora were to lose this race and finish this tournament in second place, she's still going to play the tournament with you strongly. I think Dora is very good with the short-term memory that you need in pool. She has enough experience to handle whatever the outcome is. She'll handle it well, and whatever she plays next, she's going to come at it full force.
Nice, politically correct statement. Appreciate it. I've been trying to put people on the spot all day. You didn't fall for it. But yeah, I agree. Like I said, I mean, Dora's probably she's gonna play strong no matter what when we play, but doesn't hurt, you know.
Yeah, I don't know. You can't see it on the stream, but maybe you can. Like right now on her collar, there is a shark pin that she's wearing. I gave her that shark pin for her performance in the Dutch Diamond League playoff
Nice.
tournament we did. She shot extremely well the entire tournament, and on Saturday she was just killing it, and she was playing her methodical style and just drilling shots, and she was beating tough players, and it didn't even matter who she was against. She did really well. So I gave her that shark pin for her performance, and that was not only based on her performance, but from everybody telling me and giving me insights to how well Dora played. So, it was basically because everybody else was telling me how good she played that I thought, well, yeah, she definitely, played the role of that. So I gave her that shark pin as a little pat on the back for, doing her thing and doing it well.
Nice. She just made a good shot on the 3 in the side, trying to break out everything. She didn't really get the desired breakout she wanted. We left some of her balls in tough spots, but she made a great shot. Luckily, she had that 2 ball to fall back on. She might need to use her 1 ball here to play off and come back over towards this area of the table so that she can get in here. It'd be nice. It looks like that 5 goes to this bottom pocket. So it would be nice if she could get to where she could play like a stop shot or something, leave the cue ball right in this area and be able to play down to her 6. Gives her an option to actually clear the table and finish the rack. But there's some pretty specific positional shape you got to play for that. So it might be asking for a lot, but...
Well, I don't know, because you remember her break and run yesterday. It had a number of shots that required very specific shape, and she pulled every single one of them off and got right where she needed to be, and pulled off the break and run to win her match.
Yeah, she did right there. She got perfect where she needed to be. She just hung the 1. She hit it super easy, trying to get shape. It might have been better if she hit it with a little bit more speed to come off the rail and back into this line. But with more speed, it would have caromed off a little different and might have deflected off towards the side. So that might have been why she hit it.
Yeah, and she realized that she did not want an angle on the 4 ball. because she wanted to be able to do a stop shot to play the 5 in this corner like you drew out a bit ago. She did look at all of that as well. And so she got the shape she needed. Unfortunately, the 1 touched the rail, so it's gonna, at that speed, it managed to knuckle up and hang there. But had it fallen, then she would be firing a stop shot at the 4 right here, like you drew, to give her access to that 5 in this pocket. So she recognized those things and was doing her thing to get it done. Just fell a little short on that. And now Kim is at the table. I don't know if she can see this 15 ball. It almost looks like she's aiming at a combo. So apparently that it was accurate. She did not make the combo, but she really didn't hurt herself too much here. She did not leave DORA much to work with here. She may have a path here to get to the 1. If she does, then that could give her action on playing shape back over into that straight shot on the 4 and finish that routine, that pattern she was looking at a bit ago.
Oh, that laid out really, really well for her.
It did. She cannot see the 7 on the side, but she does have a perfect angle on the 6 to cut that in there. And what she's looking at now is the line from the rail to come up this way and open the rest of her issues up right here. So
what I'd like to see her do here, honestly, is if she can focus on coming off the rail and coming into the 14 ball here. Because if she hits this 14 out of there, that opens all of her stuff really easy. If she comes into the 5, then who knows how the 5 is going to lay out if it comes over and ties up with the 4 or whatever. Coming off and hitting the 14 kind of ensures that all her balls are going to be open at that point.
Yeah, because if it does come off the rail there and hit her 5, it could stay behind the 14 and leave her hooked. She came into the 5, and look at that. Perfect. I'm sitting in line with that 5 ball, and she has a straight in shot to the side pocket with it.
So what you're saying is DORA yet again made me a liar on stream.
Yeah, she's like, I'll show you what's up. But yeah, if she just rolls forward on this, then she'll be able to play the 7 into this side next, and then play the 4 and the 8 in this pocket to take a commanding 3-0 lead. So she didn't quite get into this area like I think she was trying to do, to just play a straighter shot on the 7. But even just rolling this, the cue ball will come over into here and still give her that nice shot on that 4 that she's looking for. And I don't know if you guys saw yesterday's match against Kim when DORA was reaching all the way across table, and her 6 ball was sitting in the jaws of the pocket, and she was able to draw it right out of there like on a string. It came back on a straight line and then gave her perfect shape on her last ball. So she's not afraid to put a stroke in there, and looks like she's on the correct side of the 4 as well. So when she gives it that little pop draw, it should stun over into here and give her a nice shot at the 8 in the same pocket.
She just doesn't want to overstroke this. Oh, She ended up missing that ball. So say she didn't want to overstroke that and draw past the 14, but she ended up overcutting that ball quite a bit.
Yeah, and it pocketed Kim's 15 ball that was sitting in the pocket. And the 4 laying neutral and does not go to this corner pocket where the cue ball is. That definitely works in Kim's favor because she can shoot this combo right here if she likes it, and if she don't, she can play a safety right there as well and force DORA into a kick shot or something very complex.
Now, I'm one, I always like to, I don't like letting my opponent to the table if I have an opportunity to get out. So I would take a look and make sure that I could make the combo and get my cue ball out of there so that I have a good, decent shot at my next ball and make sure it's not too difficult in doing that. But if not, you know, I would prefer to jack up a little bit and play a stop shot for safety instead of trying to soft roll it. And she ended up giving her ball in hand there. So
Yeah, it looks like she was trying to just graze the 12 right here and park the cue ball somewhere in this area. But
it almost looked like she miscued.
no, the speed of the stroke was very slow, so that's basically kind of what she was looking at. But ultimately, just babied it too much, and then cue ball never made it to the object ball. And even if it had, it wouldn't have had the speed for anything to get a rail. So either way, DORA got ball in hand on her last ball. Well, she made a nice shot there on the 4. Has a good look at the 8 in that same pocket.
And DORA gets the 8 ball in there and takes a 3-0 lead in the second set.
Yeah, that's big. In a race to 5, being up 3-0, and now she has the rack and break. We witnessed yesterday she's very capable of a break and run. But even if she doesn't break and run, when she pockets the ball, then she will have first control of the table, and that can be huge as well.
Yeah, and you know, I'm sure Kim's frustrated. She's down. She's had chances in a lot of these racks. And then coming off that right there where she ended up giving ball in hand. I'm sure she's frustrated. It's probably a good thing to take a break here and try to get her emotions under control. I mean, she's down 2-0, but she's not out of
to the bathroom. Right. She definitely can still pull this off. They both stepped away to the restroom, so there'll be a few-minute break here. Hey, Jeff, I don't know if you going to stick to the tradition of our $5 bets and autograph that $5 for me, or just hand me one nice and clean that I can turn around and spend. Your other ones I don't have them on my refrigerator, but I do have them all together in a money clip. I have no problem adding a new one to it if you want to autograph it. Okay, we are back. DORA did a dry break. The only really decent starting shot I see is the 11 inside here. Just rolling that will allow to stay in this position and give her a shot on the 15. I do believe it passes to the corner. If not, she will have 12 to work with. Oh, Jeff, I ran out of room, so I took them all down and put them into a money clip. I'm gonna go watch a hit. Be right back. Yeah, I figured I'd wave at everybody since I was in view. Hi, Michelle. So how did you like the penalty box? Pretty nice little place, isn't it? DORA will be cutting the 2 ball. Most likely this way, because it does not go this way. And her 3 balls on the side rail over here, none of them can pass the 10. Well, her 2 ball is tied up to the 15 now. but her ball is in front near the pocket, which gives her the edge there. The 10 ball does pass behind, but of course she needs to be able to be in the middle of the table, that area, to see it. The 14 over here is cuttable and might not be a bad idea to shoot now. So the cue ball goes in here and breaks this apart and opens up her 9 ball. Her other option is the 10 this way, which then the cue ball can be sent this way. So she does have options. She's just thinking it out, seeing what she wants to do. Okay, Kim undercut that a little bit, leave her 12 there. But she hit that at a slower speed, I think, as a potential two-way, knowing she had the 14 inside to shoot at next. But as you can see, DORA does not have much to work with right now. So DORA will be firing at her. Looks like she's going to be doing a cross bank on the 4 or 1, probably the 4. It's not going to go in this side, but it does bring it out in towards the middle and, you know, get one of her trouble balls out in the open. And she ended up getting a good lead, putting it right there with the 14 by the side pocket. Kim might be able to see the 10 ball here and to cut it by the 2, which wouldn't be a bad shot, because then the cue ball will come off the rail and come this way and separate the 13 and the 8. But she has to be careful of her speed, because she don't want to roll the 13 over here, tie it up, and make a bigger cluster here. Well, she hit that at a really nice speed. Unfortunately, did not pocket the 10, but her 10 went in front of the 2 ball, so now she has the edge over there in that pocket. She did separate the 13 and the 8, and the 13 is in a good position now where you can play position to pocket that ball. DORA is straight on this 4 ball here. The 1 ball still doesn't appear to pass the 10, so I think she will roll forward, play the 3 ball next. Well, Michelle, I believe I can. I'm not sure as to how, at least not while I'm into this commentary link. But I'll look into it a little bit more and see if I can get that changed. Something a little darker. Well, with no great shot here, I do believe DORA is looking at safety options. How's that, Michelle? That's a little easier to see, I think. So DORA opted to bump her one ball off the rail here and send a cue ball up table, even though Kim has a shot on her 15 or her 12. Both are from long range, which will make them difficult. How's that right there? So it looks like Kim is opting to shoot the 15. Makes a great shot on that. Gave herself a nice angle to play the 12 here. And with a little bit of speed in English, you can make cue ball come off that bottom rail into her 9 and possibly open that up for her. A little bit. Hey Josh, I don't know if you can hear me, but even muted, I can hear you. I'm glad you're eating some fake chicken. So Kim shooting a 13 in the corner and getting on the correct side of this 14 gave her a nice angle to come in like this and break that out. The only downside is if she hits right in here on the 5, that will come this way and push the 9 that way, which may not work out the best, but could hit it just right too and then push it down towards the pocket. Or maybe it does go this route, but at the speed to where it comes off this way and she has a shot at it over there. So we'll have to see what happens. Well, looks like she was definitely going for it. Somehow managed to miss the 5 altogether. The cue ball went towards the pocket, as you see, and almost scratched. I do believe it's hooked on the 12. So she can opt for the jump shot, come this way. She can jump this way. She can kick this way. So she's got her options. None of them are high percentage or lovable, but you got to make do with what she has. So Josh, tell us more about this fake chicken. Is it one of Willie's that come from his backyard? We got a chicken coop back there. He likes to step out there and lick their feet because he likes chicken feet.
Well, so as you know, I'm allergic to chicken, so I can't really eat chicken. But a couple years ago, I said screw it, and I tried to eat some original recipe chicken from KFC, and it didn't make me sick. So I've had it a few times, and it never makes me sick. Now, any other kind of chicken I get from anywhere, from a store, from Panda, from regular restaurants, somebody makes it home, it makes me sick. So it makes you wonder what they do to this chicken to change it so that it doesn't actually make me sick like regular chicken does.
Probably the ton of preservatives loaded into it keeps you from getting sick somehow. But anyway, Kim opted for the jump shot. Ended up hitting the 2 in her attempt. Fouling, giving Dora a ball in hand. Dora's going to start with a nice little angle to get her 5 out of there. It did not quite roll out towards the side pocket like she was hoping. And the 12 came over and got in the middle, blocking her view of her 1 ball to work with. So now she's definitely going to be looking to play safe of some sort. my guess is something along this line. Well, she just basically went opposite of the pattern I drew, and in doing so, gave Kim a decent starting shot. My guess is she will cut this into the side here, in which case, if she slow rolls it, then the cue ball is going to come up here and stay somewhere up in this area. But if she does hit it with a little speed, then the tangent line will come this way and come back down and give her a nice shot there. Either way, whether it's long or short, she'll have a decent look at the 9 and won't have to do much but pocket it and have a good look at the 8. This out, Kim, is particularly important because of the score being 3-0 race 5. So it's a must-have. Ended up overhitting that, but as you saw, the tangent line, the cue ball come up this way, and had it stopped anywhere in this area, she would have a nice look at that 9 ball. But due to the overhit, came down to not making it cuttable now. So, and it doesn't bank. So safety play is basically clip cue ball down here to the bottom rail, and this spot would block both balls. If she ends up over here, DORA will have options. If she ends up over here, DORA has options. So it's a tough positional play. So it's just speed control, making sure you hit this side of the 9, and then making sure you hit the correct speed so that the cue ball makes it to the center diamond. Yes, Myron, that tournament will also report Fargo. So it'll be a tournament you can try to shine in and get your Fargo up. So it does look like Kim was trying to do that safe and get to there. She came up a little short, but the 1 is blocked, forcing DORA to play the 5 to the corner here, which is a much longer shot. And under pressure, that becomes a lot tougher, but it is natural angle to 1 rail here, or even 2 rail if she prefers. I'm a 2 rail person, so that's the line I'd be wanting to come into right here. If you can stay above the center line, then you would be on the correct side for natural shape like this for the 8. We'll see what happens. Wow. She did play the 2 rail, but she found that magical angle off the top rail that somehow finds its way into a side pocket, and considering the angle that came in, literally that pocket was no more than maybe that wide from that angle. Yet it missed the point, fell right in. What's weird about that is if you were to set up the cue ball here at an object fall here, 9 out of 10 times, if not 10 out of 10 times, you would not be able to shoot that ball in this pocket. But yet the cue ball finds its way in there on that path fairly regularly. But now with ball in hand, Kim just needs to roll forward a little bit on this and then have a straight in shot on the 8. She pocketed the ball and has a really good look at the 8. I fully expect her to make this and get on the board, which may be the momentum change she needs to start chalking up games. Good shot. On the board. 3-1. And I do believe it is Kim's rack and break.
So Dora made a good shot there on the 5, trying to get her balls out in the open, but she can see the 7, which is good. Her 4 got moved out to where it can go now. The 6 is in a bad spot. The 4 can address that. But her 3 ball nestled right up in here in this center pack with the 2 stripes and the 8 ball. So she's got a lot of work to do. This is probably going to be another long rack of them having to be a little more strategic and playing safeties here and there. Looks like she's going to start with 1 now.
Hey Myron, I've asked Jeff a number of times to play, but he's not a fan of rotation pool. He much prefers 8-ball. But you're more than welcome to give him a hard time about it if you'd like. There are currently 25, actually 26 players on the list for the King of the Valley. But it's still a week away, so there may be some additional dropouts. But as they do, we'll keep looking to fill it. I'd like to see that tournament and all tournaments full, at max. So hopefully it stays that way. So Dora just played a great safety. She didn't marry the 7, so that does give Kim a little bit of a wiggle room, but she can't see any of her balls fully, so she will be kicking. She has options at this, the 1 rail this way into the 13, but if doing so, you definitely want to hit it with a little speed so that something makes contact with a rail. Her other option would be, well, actually, would be to come at the 15 this way. She's too close to the 7 to be able to do this. Plus, a little bit of the 8 is in the way of that. Dora left her tough. There's no doubt about that. Well, Kim opted for the 1 rail kick to the 13, hit it just right, and drove the 13 over to the rail, so that made it nice and legal. But also in doing so, did not leave an offensive shot for Dora. She's very close to that 3, and I think she's looking at it now as the potential carom off the 4 here. So even though she's aiming like at the 11, the 3 will come off the 4 like this and come this way. But she decides to go with the safety. Not a bad choice either. I do not see, well, the 13 looks like it does go to this corner. So Kim may go for that. It does look like that's what she called. Really, I don't see too many women do a jack-up mass 8 shot to curve the cue ball. Don't really see too much of it around here. It's a tough shot to pull off. You definitely have to understand what's happening there. Kim attempted to cut the 13 up in that corner, ended up missing it. It didn't tie into tie up into anything, so it's still an open, available shot if she gets, other opportunities. Left the cue ball tough yet again for Dora. Dora can cut this two, then cut the two ball into the side pocket, but considering where the cue ball is, Dora would be jacked up, treetop shooting over the three. Don't know that she likes that option. She does appear to be playing safe. She's going to graze her three ball and I think try to get here. Well, she hit a little bit too much of the three, so that came off higher on the rail versus down here, and then didn't have enough speed to travel off. So it ended up where it did, but that works too because it does not give Kim a nice shot to start with. She may opt for a safety, or if she wants to be
Does the six ball pass the 15 down into this corner?
It does not.
Okay.
It does play into the side though, off the two, like this. But Dora would have to get under there, like where it is now. Both are playing very defensive games, not wanting to give up more games to each other. So, doing more smart play. Speak of being right there to play the six on the side off the two. Kim missed the 12 in the side. Cue ball went up, table went back down and put it right in the area to give Dora this option on the six. I don't know if she will opt for that because as it sits right now, the 15 to be able to be made in this pocket here, cue ball would need to be over here somewhere where you're back cutting. If it's out here, it will not cut to the corner. It has to be on a more of a back cut angle. Looks like Dora is sizing up the six off the two in the side. I don't know that she'll go for it, but she's definitely looking at it as an option. Well, it looks like Dora did try that, but she ended up catching too much of the two, which kept the six on the table. And Kim's got a good starting shot on the 12 again right here to the corner. That is available. It looks like the 9 passes from what I can tell on the screen here. So if you, and then the 15 ball goes here, so pocketing the 12 and not letting the cue ball run too wild where she wants to go. So now Dora's back to the table. She had a couple of options on the 6. She could bank it. She can cut it. Both shots will have the cue ball come into this way and hit this 2 ball, which needs to be addressed because the 13 now blocks the 2 to that corner. So that has to be dealt with. No other Dora solids go anywhere, so the 6 ball is basically all she really has to start with and work with. Well, Dora hit that 6 into the side perfectly, bumped the 2 ball perfectly out of there. Unfortunately, it went over and bumped the 12 and tied itself up. Okay, Dora made a nice shot on her 4. Not much to work with now other than cutting the 3 ball here, but in doing so, the tangent line of the cue ball is going to want to go this way, which could bring the scratch into play. She could put a little bit of English on to pass the side pocket this way and try to come up like this to break her 2 out. She can even do it coming in short and with right English send it up here, or even tighter pattern and go straight at it. So it just depends on what she feels. She may just try to pocket a 3 and leave the cue ball somewhere out in the open, and to play it safety next. The 7 ball does not pass the 8 to be pocketed.
I feel like if she hits this 3 with any kind of speed, though, it's going to carry him off and hit this stripe.
Yeah, that is very possible, but yeah, she would be needing to hit the 3 ball thin to be able to cut it into that corner. And yeah, and with any kind of speed, it may deflect into that 14 ball, like you mentioned. But I think, maybe at a medium speed, using more spin than speed, she can get to either one of the patterns, get up there on that too. Possibly. looks like she's looking at potentially using the 7 ball to go rail first like this and pocket the 2. Now, that is a very, very difficult shot. Creative.
Yeah, I think she'd be better off to just do like a stop shot on the 7 and have it come off the 2, rail 2, and then move the 2 over into this area.
Yeah, I think that would be the easier of the 2, even though it's still a difficult shot. But of the 2, going with the 7 going rail to corner would be easier than trying to go 7 into the rail into the 2 and trying to cut the 2 into the corner. Both difficult, but of the 2, the easier would have been to play the 7 into the rail, then off the 2, then into the corner. Unfortunately, the 2 ball ended up over on the other side, blocked by the 13. I don't know how big this gap is. If the 2 ball can go rail 13 in there, the 7 goes into the corner, and if she positions herself correctly, she'd be able to come in and knock the 2 out if she wanted to. If she gets a chance to, because this table is laid out pretty nice for Kim now. She got the nice starter shot here, and if she rolls that in, it should have the 9 to this side, since it does not play to the corner past the 8. All her balls go. It's just a matter of what order she tries to shoot them in and what shape she plays. But like I said, if she just rolls this into the side, cue ball should end up over here by the 15, over in this area, and give her a look at the 9. That's exactly what she opted for, and she gave herself really nice shape on the 9. Unfortunately, the 14 ball caught the point and stayed out of the pocket, and now Dora has a look at her 3 ball, but she would be treetop at that. But all she needs to do is pocket the 3 and stay in this area for the 2. So she could roll forward a little bit and still be okay on the 7 and have the angle to potentially do this. Or if that 2 ball, like I mentioned earlier, is playable this way, then she can be a little straighter on the 7 or even on the wrong side of it, just to keep the cue ball in this area, shoot that 2 rail first. I can't tell, if I look over there, I cannot tell how open that pocket is here for the 2. But she is definitely sizing it up, so it may go. Looks like Dora is going to be saving the 3 for last. She didn't want the hindered bridge, so she's out there firing at the 7 now. Ended up missing it. Was able to bump her 2, but now the 2 is blocked 100% to the corner by the 13. And that just depends on if Kim starts with that 13, that'll open up that pocket. But like before, all her balls go. So she just needs to take her time and do her thing and run these in one by one and get out. And add another one to the scoreboard.
All of her balls are in the open here. She just got to make a couple good shots. Long shot there. Looks like she's I think the best bet here for Dora would be to backbank this ball to that corner pocket she's standing by. I think that's higher percentage than anything else she's looking at doing. Just choosing to bank it to the side. That's not bad. She's got to try to miss this stripe in the corner with the cue ball when it comes off this direction. But it should leave her a shot at the 3 ball if she makes this here. As long as she doesn't overhit it.
Well, she did get perfect shape on the 3, like you mentioned, but I think in that particular instance, I would have backbanked that into the corner because the cue ball would automatically be going down towards my other ball. Plus, it's not having to travel as wide as it needed to on that side pocket.
Yeah, I agree with you. That's where I started with it, figuring she'd backbank that ball, but she chose to go for the side, and it wasn't too bad. It offered shape for her 3 ball. She just needed to make that bank.
Well, Kim definitely needs to get out because you can't keep giving Dora chances. Sooner or later, she's going to get what she really likes and she'll get out.
Yeah, and these are the tables right here where she needs to make sure and start getting out. She can't keep giving Dora chances like you mentioned. All her balls are in the open. She's gotta do it. It's gonna be hard to win this finals if she doesn't get out on racks like this.
Yeah, and she's currently shooting the correct pattern. She's got a nice angle on the 15th. Just pocket it and roll forward and give her good shape on that 11 down there. Using the 13 as her last ball with a whole lot of space to get nice shape on the 8. So now she has options on this. Me, I'm very favorable to 2 rail shots, so I would shoot that and take the cue ball in this way. Even settling for a little longer shot's okay, considering how close to the pocket the 13 is. So not a whole lot of angle to work with on this, but luckily she has this large window to play shape into for the 8. I have a feeling she will hit a draw and try to play this kind of shape. The problem with this is if this draw is very difficult to control. If she ends up putting a ton of spin on it, it could roll too far, whereas just kind of leaving the cue ball in this area is okay also right now. Yeah, so that's going to be one of the least likely places that she wanted. It is a doable back cut, but the scratch is now in play because if she hits that even just a hair fat, this comes into play. The thing to do with these is to shoot them with top spin. That way the cue ball travels more this way. It's a tough shot to have, considering what she had to work with. She could have definitely put herself in a much better position than this, but not coming up this way for shape on that 13 and coming out this way and taking away any good angle to work with definitely contributed to this particular shape now. So hitting that with speed made the cue ball deflect wide, and then hitting it a little fatter as well. And I can say that because the 8-ball came in this way. Had she hit it too thin, it would have went this way. So going this way, she hit it too thick, and a combination of that and the speed put the cue ball on the tangent line of the scratch, and so that's what happened, unfortunately. Now Dora will shoot the 3 in the corner, follow up, preferably like a straight shot into the 7 to the corner, and then a nice easy 8-ball. Now she did overroll this a bit, but not so much that the cue ball is going to travel everywhere. She can actually still hit this in a pocket speed and bring the cue ball on its natural angle somewhere in here. She could even go further if she wanted to. I doubt she will. Probably just going to roll it in like that and leave herself a nice easy shot to get on the hill. We have 4-1 and a race to 5. And there you go. And like always, she hit that with intent. Nice shot. And that was game 5. So now we're going to game 6, which is Dora's rack and break. She's on the hill. So will she break and run again? We don't know, but she's going to run off to a quick bathroom break, and Kim is going to take advantage of that and do her own bathroom break. So we'll be back in a couple of minutes. So, for those of you watching, that's why playing angles is always good. So had Kim pocketed that ball down here and kept the cue ball in this area, then she would have had the 13 sitting here. She would have natural shape to be able to shoot that and come up like this and come into the line of the 8 ball, which would have gave her a nice easy shot to work with. But having come through the window and bringing the cue ball over here, basically leaving a straight in shot with no angle, not much angle to work with, it made it tough to get shape. And then she ended up leaving herself a really tough shot on that 8. So always look at the correct side to be on, so that you can use natural shape and then maybe add a little bit of English to that if need be, depending on what you're trying to do with the cue ball from there. And that way most of your shots are speed control versus trying to force shots all the time. Okay, so Kim is solid. She just over-thinned this cut, but it did take both of her balls off the rail there. Dora will be coming to the table shooting her stripes. Looks like her she does have a shot at the 13 to the corner to start with. And if that's the case, she can just stop it, which with that little bit of angle will bring her over into this area, which could give her a shot on the 14 here, or if she decides to drift over enough this way, she could play the 9 down this way. And I'm looking up at the table. The 9 does go on the side, but it is super tight. So you'd want to be in a very specific spot to shoot that in there. And that did look like what she was doing, was drifting over to shoot the 9 next, since the 9 is a bit of a trouble ball since it doesn't pass to the corner up top. She would have had a good look at it right now, play in the corner. But in leaving it there, Kim has no good starting shot. Nothing very makeable here. So she's in a tough situation here, and DORA is on the hill, so you definitely don't want to make too many mistakes. Because not only is DORA on the hill, she is now back in it. May have been tired earlier, because she's been here since early this morning practicing, waiting to play. But she might be catching a second wind now. Feeling pretty good. I think Kim is opting for a safety here. She's going to combo the 12 in to leave her ball there. Did not quite work. She did hit that very firmly. For what reason, I'm not sure. But luckily, the 13 went over and tied up with the 1, so that does not give DORA an easy clearance. She's going to have to work something out. So it looks like she's sizing up the angle on the 14 so that she can go break up the 13 and the 1. So I'm not sure if she's going to slow roll this 9 into the side to get that angle, or if she's playing that into the corner. Now, if she plays the 9 into the corner, then holding the cue ball will become very difficult, and it will come out this way. She called the side, so she's looking to maybe stay right about in here with the cue ball. Look at that, almost right in the circle I drew. And I can tell you, I'm sitting somewhat in line with that 14 ball. She does have a slight angle. She could fire this in and go forward right into this breakout. And if that doesn't lay out the way she wants, she would have options. Unfortunately, she missed that shot, which also made her miss the breakout. So that ball remains tied up. Now, the 2 ball does appear to go rail first into the 14. And just for the sake of breaking out the 1 ball, I would shoot the 2 into the rail 14 firmly, and with the intent to make this 14 ball travel this way into the breakout and push my 1 out. That would be what I would be trying to do with the 2 ball right now. She doesn't have a whole lot else to work with. The 4 does not clear the 3, so she would have to do a 4-3 combo if she wanted to pocket a ball down there. She has a 5. You can see all the 5 to cut and give her this return with the cue ball. But seeing as how the 1 ball is in trouble, I think I would definitely do the shot I was talking about. 2, rail 14, and now would be the time while a few of the balls are stuck. Well, I did not see that as well as she did. She had a better angle on that and could see that the 4 passed. I can tell you it was probably pretty tight, so she hit that very well. But, as you can see, there's no other shot. The potential to play the 7 in the side is there. It's super thin. I think if you had to play that shot, you would want to play more off the 15 this way to lessen that angle. But either way, it will be very difficult. You know, she could literally play a safety into here with 3 ball. I mean, DORA would be able to see this strike, but really, So she went for the cut on the 7, hung it there, went over and bumped her one ball and got a little separation there, but the one is still a trouble ball. She left DORA shot on the 12 here down to the corner, and with that angle of the cue ball, I mean, she can basically move it out towards the middle of the table or get in below. Oh, she undercut that. And where the cue ball is, Kim has some options here. Either start with 7 or start with 3 ball here. That would probably be the option. I go and try to play shape on the 5 over here. You could follow on the 3, and with the angle at the cue ball would come like this, which would be okay to play the 5 like this, and then have the 7 in the side, roll up this way, play the 2 real 14, which I mentioned a while ago. But let's see what she sees. Looks like she's going to start with the 7 ball. So for those of you watching, I don't know how many were watching last night when we were talking about the bracket. So the bracket on the A side, it does look a little odd because when I created the tournament in Digital Pool, I made an error. And when we started this tournament and it created the bracket and everything else, it made it impossible to go back and fix that. So that's why the hot seat match appears as the final, even though the B side of the tournament, that bracket looks good. It's fine. So what I will be doing is after this tournament, I will not be making any changes to the bracket that exists now, but I will go into Digital Pool and recreate it and take all the information from this one and load it into the new one that'll be correct. And once it's in there correctly, then I can submit it to Fargo. In its current condition, it's not as it should be, so I do not want to submit it that way. I don't want to have Fargo tell us no, because then they may have us do things differently in the future moving forward, making it a little tougher, and I don't want that relationship with Fargo. I'd rather them be able to trust our information to be accurate. So I will take that time, probably tomorrow. I'm a little exhausted, so but I will get it fixed, corrected. I will post it when it's corrected so that people can look at it. It's going to look pretty much the same way, other than the hot seat match will show as a hot seat match, and the final will appear as it should. And then everything will be as it should be. My apologies for that. It was a good catch by JC. He got to looking at it yesterday and made a mention of it. And then when I went to go look and see what he was talking about. He was accurate. It was screwed up. Crystal and I both took a look at it, figured out where I screwed up, and I created it in Digital Pool. But like I said, I will get it corrected and submitted correctly so that there are no issues. We looked at the King of the Valley tournament that was set up in our Digital Pool, and that is set up correct and everything is right, so we won't have that problem there. And now that I learned that mistake, it will not be made in the future. So all will be well. But like I said, I will get this all corrected before we submit anything. That way, everybody who played in this tournament, their information will go into Fargo correctly, and there will be no issues. Okay, a little bit of back and forth in here. The one ball is trapped up there in the corner with the 13 and the 14. Dora is shooting the 15 into that corner, into this corner. Um, got the unfortunate rub on the 13, but it didn't change much up there. Dora has the advantage because she has breakout ball. Kim does not. Her one is up there all by its lonesome and has no breakout ball. So Kim's only real option right now is to shoot the 3 and play shape to the 5. Of course, I'm thinking in terms of what I would do. I would ultimately settle for having to bank on the 1 ball. So that's how I would play my patterns. 3, 5, go ahead, get up table. Maybe somewhere in this area, but you could go here or here. You're going to bank to this one or this one, depending on where you lay out in here. But ultimately, that is the shot you're looking at, and that is the bank. But I would be definitely, because there's really no benefit to pushing it in there deeper and trying to play safe. I don't know if she's called the cross bank. Wow. Well, that's a pretty good effort. 1 ball problem solved. Now it's sitting over there by the pocket. Dora's 14 ball here is a problem for her. So she'll definitely have to address that somehow. I think she's looking right now to see how to play this combo. And she did call the 14, which is this one. So we'll see how she works it out. Like I said, this ball is her problem ball, which is the 10 ball. She hit that really well. Gave herself an opportunity to play the 15 here, if she wants to do that right now. The 11 sits in the side pocket as a bailout. If she were to get herself in trouble somehow, she would have that shot to be able to get herself back out of trouble. I'm sure she's looking at some sort of method to get to this 10 ball down here. She could play the 11 now and just put a little English into this way and trying to hit it, but that definitely has to be perfect. Looks like she's playing a stop shot on the 13, and I think she's going to try to play it off the 3 to open that pocket up for the 10. Beautifully done. Beautifully done. That was excellent. Now it is wide open. She can just play the 12, roll forward just a touch, maybe into somewhere here, to give her this angle to come out with the cue ball. She can even go a little further into here if she wanted, have a little back cut. I'm really surprised by that. I would have left the 11 as my last shot, or at least left it like here. Now she's got to kind of go back and forth on this. Doable, but very surprising. Yeah, that was very surprising. Very tight back cut into the corner, and it's almost like half pocket to get by the 5. And as thin as that has to be hit, cue ball is going to go for a run. So cue ball, even hitting at a slower speed, still going to travel. Hopefully for her it stays in this area. But the trouble to end up here hooked is very real. Yeah, I'm just shocked by that. Well, Myron, Fargo is strictly based on wins. And who you play. So in Vegas, whoever you played, their Fargo versus your Fargo, if you look it up in Fargo, it will tell you what the score of your match should be. If you finish at that score, neither one of you move at all. If one of you plays above that, so let's say it says you should win this match 5-3 and you win 5-2 or 5-1, then you perform better than what your Fargo says you should, and then you can go up. Now, if it says you do 5-3 and you win 5-4, going hill-hill, there's really no movement in hill-hill games.